Morning and welcome to the sports segment on the Weekend Show. My name is Abraham Yusuf, bringing to you all the happenings across the world of sport. The World Cup qualifying matches for most African countries would have gone as expected, but not so for the Super Eagles. After 4 rounds of matches in a relatively easy six-team group, the three times African champions are now without a win, languishing second from bottom of the standing, with Nigeria's hope of featuring at the 2026 World Cup in complete shambles. Like thieves in the night, the NFF Executive Committee sneaked into Abuja on Wednesday in a desperate bid to save their own jobs in the aftermath of a catastrophic 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign by the Super Eagles. Finidi George, who only last month had been presented to the whole world as the man to lead Nigeria to glory again, unfortunately, it has not gone as scripted. Nigeria are at the brink of a back-to-back failure to qualify for the World Cup. The NFF wish is to absolve themselves of this blame in this fiasco, and the most convenient move is for Finidi to be the proverbial sacrificial lamb, the guy to take their fall. Finidi certainly has his own shortcomings, but the NFF have, as usual, failed to fully take responsibility for their incompetence and clear lack of capacity in this whole drama unfolding. They have clearly shown that they have been overwhelmed by the tasks they have been entrusted to, but rather they take the noble route of quitting their posts than preferring to push Finidi under the bus. First, they did not manage well the process that eventually led to the selection of Finidi as the new Super Eagle coach. By the end of February, Jose Peseiro took his leave after guiding the country to an unexpected AFCON final, while other teams from the same AFCON immediately effected changes of their coaches. The NFF were not decisive and played to the gallery till May that they announced Finidi, even when all along that was the man they had headed hunted. The same NFF failed to enforce a deadline for the Super Eagles call-up to get into training camp in Uyo for the must-win 2026 World Cup qualifier against South Africa and Benin. They also did not think through the team match schedule, even when they had 3 date options for their home game against South Africa. The consequences of this is a glaring act of incompetence, and the Super Eagles played on Friday night, then flew out to Abidjan on Sunday to play the following day against Benin. A team like Benin were fresher because they played their game a day earlier than Nigeria and did not have to travel before they welcomed the Super Eagles to Abidjan 3 full days later. There have also been allegations of the interference by the NFF leadership in team selection, and with consistent reports that the NFF have failed to motivate the team. The NFF have yet to clear the outstanding bonuses and allowances of the team dating as far back as 3 years ago, and which President Bola Tinubu so graciously approving of a 12 billion naira intervention fund for January, and which is now cooling in the NFF account. Do you still have to wonder why the Super Eagles did not play with fire in their bellies, when with all the work they have put in, there is no show for it? In the NBA, a sweep, as it turns out, beating the Dallas Mavericks 4 straight was a bit of a leap. What the Boston Celtics found on Friday was a Maverick team that shared through the Western Conference playoffs, toppling higher seeded along the way, using a distraction-free and locked-in Luka Doncic, some Kyrie Irving, and help. Finally, the 2024 NBA Final will last another game, at least because the Dallas team finally showed up. It came as a disappointment to hundreds and thousands of Celtic fans who made the trip and gobbled up tickets at American Airlines centers in the anticipation of an 18th title, and certainly to Celtic themselves. That's because the Celtic missed shots, fell behind early, never mustered a rally, and hardly showed the flex of a team with the league's best record. Their previous and only 2 losses in this postseason were similar waves. It was Mavericks 122 and Celtics 84, a margin inflated and influenced by nearly 15 minutes of loop-sided and meaningless garbage time. The benches were clearly late in their third quarter, an unusual time for white flag waving in a final game. Not only did the wipeout keep the Mavericks in the series alive, but consider this: Dallas have outplayed Boston over the last 5 quarters. The wait is almost over. Euro2024 finally got underway on Friday, with Germany taking a 5-1 win against Scotland in Munich opening game of the tournament. England and France are obviously the 2 top contenders in the most people's eyes, but Portugal, Spain, and Belgium have some serious talent at their disposal. Defending champions Italy have yet to quite click under Luciano Spalletti, but tournament host Germany seems to be ready to take it and move in the right direction. Again, thanks to Julius Nagelsmann, where Netherlands look to be an attractive football side. All things considered, Euro 2024 has the marking of a fascinating spectacle, and not just because of the wide variety of teams set to challenge for a title. There are also several other lines that will be well watched over the next 4 weeks. Well, that's much I have for you. Handing over to Didi to wrap up the show.